Hello and welcome to our COMM presentation on Andrews Corporation. The presentation will give an overview of our intended strategy, an evaluation of our strategy, recommendations for future owners of our company, and key takeaways that we learned from the COMM simulation.
The main statistics from our company are as follows.
Our sales totaled $162,741,549, putting us in first place ahead of our second place competitors by $20,364,498. Our total profits were $75,143,427, which again put us in first place ahead of our competitors by $7,938,828.
Our overall ranking for market capitalization was first place at 24.98%. This put us ahead of our second place competitor by 3.13%. Our intended strategy was to be a broad differentiator. A company operating with a broad differentiator strategy aims to have a scope that is industry-wide and products that are highly differentiated from its competition. In order to maintain a wide scope, a broad differentiation strategy requires you to maintain a presence in every market segment. We intended to have multiple products in both the low-tech and high-tech segments in order to maintain this presence. Another feature of broad differentiation is continually ensuring that your products are up to date in order to maintain differentiation. To do this, we intended to continually reevaluate research and development by observing market trends, taking drift rates into account, and offering customers products that match their preferences. A third aspect of a broad differentiator strategy is to aggressively market your products in order to showcase the value of our products to the consumer. The final main aspect of a broad differentiator strategy is financing through the issuing of stock and cash from operations. We intended not to issue debt, but rather we intended to depend on cash from operations and through stocks.
Overall, we were very satisfied with our strategy choice and the outcome of our 8 rounds. We finished first overall and managed to run a very successful company throughout each round. Our strategy proved to be extremely valuable and effective throughout the simulation. We only modified one main aspect of the strategy, which was financing. As previously mentioned, our intended financial strategy was to avoid debt and to rely on cash flow from operations and stock issuance. Throughout the first rounds, however, we realized that we needed to issue long-term debt in order to finance our multiple product launches without receiving any emergency loans. We began to issue the debt on our own terms and quickly had enough money to pay it all back while maintaining a large profit margin. There were 3 crucial business decisions which we believed allowed us to be as successful as we were. The first was our ability to stay ahead of our competition. We began launching more products in order to gain additional market share well beyond our competitors. We maintained this proactive position throughout all 8 rounds, being the first to introduce new products. Our second most valuable business decision was to invest aggressively in customer accessibility and awareness. We achieved an accessibility rating of 98% in our high-tech segment, with our competitors having only achieved a maximum of 76%. We also achieved 100% customer awareness for all of our products in both the low and high-end segments. This allowed us to drastically increase our market share and allowed us to increase our sales. The final decision which we believe separated us from our competition was our use of total quality management. Because we had a large profit, we had the extra cash to invest into TQM, which we did liberally. We were the first company to do so, which allowed us to reduce material and labor costs by 11.8% and 14% respectively. We reduced admin costs by 57% and increased our demand by 14%. Overall, we had an extremely successful 8 rounds of COMM.
Our first recommendation for the incoming management team is to introduce a new product in round 9 and to continue to introduce new products thereafter. Ideally, this product should be in the low-tech segment as there is a higher market size, allowing for greater potential sales. The product should be launched in round 9 to stay ahead of our competition, as no other company currently has as many products as we do. However, we anticipate that they will also develop additional products to remain competitive. Our second recommendation is for the incoming management team to consider the purchase of an additional company. This purchase would reduce competition and increase our market share. We suggest the company Ferris, as they currently dominate the high-tech market. This purchase would increase our market share in the high-tech segment as well as our profitability. Our third recommendation is to pay attention to the forecasting of production and pricing. For production, it is crucial that the new management team accurately calculates market size for the upcoming year. They need to produce the appropriate amount of products so as not to over or undersell and maintain the most efficient level of profitability. The new management team needs to recognize price shifts and drift rates. in order to position their products for maximized potential sales. Furthermore, when making costly decisions, they should not hesitate to issue long-term debt, as our experience has proven this to be an effective financing method. Our first major takeaway from this simulation is that it takes money to make money. During our practice rounds, we made the mistake of relying on cash flow to finance our decisions. This resulted in an astronomical amount of emergency loans which we were unable to pay back. Throughout the competition, we were not afraid to issue a large amount of long-term debt whenever it was needed. We adopted the "it takes money to make money" mantra, and it proved to be very successful. No company can start from nothing, and it was important that we realize this in order to be successful.
Another major takeaway we had was that it is vital to listen to our customer needs. Customer expectations and the importance of these expectations are crucial when making any decisions about one's product. The customer is always right. It is important to cater to their wants and needs in order to gain their business and their loyalty.
Our third main takeaway is that you cannot succeed if you only focus on your own company. It is ignorant to think that we cannot learn from our competitors. Watching their moves not only allows us to better establish ourselves within the market, but it helps us to forecast what is to come. This is very valuable as it allows us to be the best possible company and to capitalize on any potential industry gaps. Finally, our biggest takeaway was from the simulation is that teamwork is essential for success. There were many decisions where we did not agree, and we were forced to work together to come to a final decision. Working as a team to control an entire company is not easy, but without good communication, the entire company would have fallen apart. It was integral that we worked as a cohesive unit in order to succeed.